Good evening. Can you hear me? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, whoever is watching us online, because I think we have some people watching us online. Very thankful again to be here for our English lecture. I see some pretty faces around. We're going to talk tonight about the world of regeneration, the new era. We did this lecture a couple weeks ago for the Spiritist Federation English seminar. I don't know if you guys were here. And it is a very interesting topic, right? It's all right. We can go here, I guess. So it was actually, I want to, just note one thing that, back in October 19, when we got the English seminar here in our house, we didn't have many people around, which was very sad in a way, because of course we have the free will, so we can choose to be or not to be, right, in the lectures or watch it or not. But it was very sad because we have so many things that we need to do and to know, and English is Spiritism. Disseminating the Spiritism in English is so important, and we have here classes, English classes, and we try to do the English lectures as well. And the English seminar a couple weeks ago, it was very, very important. So whenever we have, that's kind of, I'm asking you guys a favor, whenever we have something in English, so try to invite people, try to invite your friends. It's really, really nice to have people, and maybe one day we can have this house full for the English lectures as well. Not that we don't have it full, so we have many discarnate brothers and sisters here, so we're pretty sure about it. But it's gonna be so... where I'm gonna put this? Maybe if I drink, right? I'll get the problem solved, maybe. But it was very good, thank you so much, because I was like in need for it. And besides that, we can start the word of regeneration, the new era, and talk about again. Usually I really like to bring the meaning of the word, the meaning by the dictionary and the spiritual meaning as well. So we can, dictionary. So the word regeneration by the dictionary, it means like a being renewed, reformed, or reconstituted, a spiritual rebirth, the renewal or replacement of any hurt or lost part, and the act or process of regenerating signals. It's very interesting when I was looking for it, because I got the dictionary meaning of the word, and then I went to the spiritual meaning of it, and it caught me like out of off guard, because it kind of says the same thing, and that was really interesting to me. Spiritually speaking, regeneration literally means a new birth. When we talk, the letter B is spiritual rebirth, you see? So usually we don't have, it's not that similar usually, right? When we get the dictionary for some things and the spiritual, meaning of the word. Also is equivalent to the restitution of all things. And then we can get the renewal replacement of any hurt parts or things like that. It denotes as well the change of heart and becoming a new creature in Jesus as well. So we always kind of talking the same thing maybe, but for this word specifically. Being born again, let's go back to rebirth again, right? And the renewal of the mind. So we got again the renewed, reformed, or reconstituted. Isn't that really, really interesting for one word? I never got one word like with similar meanings for spiritual speaking and the regular, day by day speaking. I thought that was really, really nice of it. So, but basically, so just so we know what we're talking about, regeneration is that thing that, makes us move to be kind of new, kind of, uh, new ourselves or rebirth, literally, as it says, the spiritual word, right? So when we talk about this, I brought to you guys the natural law because when that lecture as when we did this lecture actually it was for the English seminar, and that was the fifth lecture of the day, so it was kind of a wrap for the four previous lectures. So, and for the four, I'm going to show you later the four previous lectures that we had back then, but the four lectures they were speaking about the natural laws, like steps to get to regenerate yourself or ourselves, to get in this process of regeneration, right? So they were like steps, and they were talking, each one of them, colleagues and friends that were here, they were talking about natural laws, about the moral laws, because it is so important for us to get the moral laws, to develop the moral laws that we have inside. So, and then I brought to you guys the law of nature or natural law by the book, the Spirit's book, is the law of God. It is the only rule that ensures human happiness. Check on that. It is the only rule, the only one that really ensures human happiness. So if we're looking for happiness anywhere else, we better stop right now and go back to the natural laws and go back to God. Okay? That's not an order, but maybe, it's an advice. Since it reveals what you as human beings should and should not do, and since you only suffer when you disobey the natural law or get yourself away from it. So whenever we're feeling like, I wouldn't say unhappy maybe, but I would say like, whenever we feel like a little bit off, because sometimes we do, I would say every day we do, all right? It is because we are not used to get into the natural law, or we are getting away from it, or we are disobeying the natural law, the laws of God. So then we feel like incomplete. And that's the feeling of discomfort, I would say, that we sometimes get out of nowhere. So that's what we need to understand. We have the natural laws, we have the laws of God inside of each one of yourselves there. So we just need to develop these. And how we're going to develop this is the tricky part. Okay? And all of you, the Spirit's book continues, all of you may know it because we listen about it, right? But not all of you will understand it. Not for now. But one day, however, everyone will comprehend the law. That is the destiny toward which progress is inevitably leading you. Because it is, in that sentence, it is about the law of progress, one of the laws of God, that it says exactly this, because, it is inevitable that we're going to go forward. Because we have to be good. We will be good one day. Because we will develop each law. We have kind of 10 laws, I guess. And each one of them, they're going to, be developed by ourselves inside. And then we're going to find out as we go that they are connected. And they are connected inside of ourselves, inside of us. So which makes us connected to God. Because if I have the laws of God inside, so and they are connecting to each other, law of justice and law of progress, law of society, and the other that we have, and they connect to themselves, among themselves, and they connect inside of us. So that makes us connected to God. And that makes us like find out that we have God inside, which is the secret of all. So good? Now we can finish the lecture then, right? No, just kidding. But I was doing this, and the natural law is important because of that. The laws of God, this item specifically, it is important because of that, because we need to get there. We need to believe. And we're going to talk about belief later on, okay? That we have those laws. Then I was doing the PowerPoint, and then this picture came up to me through the Facebook, a friend of mine. I mean, she didn't send to me. She, just sent out there. And then I was one getting it. So, and he says, the sculpture is really nice, right? And he says, to assume and to be authentic is not to settle for the rough stones we still are. Because we are still rough stones, because we kind of in the learning process. We are in the learning process. So we're trying to get better every time. That's why the sculpture is so meaningful, right? But to work hard to carve all the divine potential we have in us. Exactly what we were talking about, the natural laws that we have inside. You see? So this is the thing that we have to do. That's why it is so strong, this image is so strong, because we have to work hard to carve the divine potentials that we have inside of us. And it is really hard because it takes courage, it takes effort, it takes will. I really need to be here tonight, but sometimes I don't want it. I, myself, was too tired today because I was all day long doing something like, it was a party, I have to say. But anyway, I was working. I wasn't at a party. I was working. And I was working hard. It was a Halloween party. Happy Halloween, by the way. But anyway, I was working, and, putting things up and tearing things down for the party. And I was like, what am I going to do? And then I called Marisa. That's a good example. And I called Marisa and I said, maybe you better get, a substitute. Maybe you get somebody there. And I saw Lena here. She's back because she was going to be probably the one replacing me. But then I was like, okay, let me go because, I have to. Even if I'm tired, or even if I don't have time, but I'm going to do my effort. I'm going to do my part to try, at least, to try to be there. And it happened, of course, because when we have this will, when we start and do our part, everything out there starts connecting, and then it goes with the flow. And then we're here tonight speaking to you guys and to everybody else. But that's what it is. We have to work hard because it was going to be so easier to, call Marisa and give her an excuse, like a flat tire, like traffic, right? Because, I wasn't able to get there, to get here because of the traffic, because, I was stuck in traffic or something. It is easy, right? It is easy for us to find any excuses that we can get for everything. And that's the meaning of it, because it is hard for us to choose. It is hard for us to carve these things, to really make the effort to be different, to become different, actually. That's the thing. That's what it is, the main theme word of regeneration. That's the regeneration process going on right there. When we pick the right thing to do, when we choose the right thing to do, the right step, when we overcome our flaws, when we overcome our own free will in not doing the right thing, when we discover and find out more about ourselves, right? And as I said, that we need to believe on those things, we're going to talk about faith. Okay, there's one thing that I need to talk to you guys about here. Let me see where it is. No, it's not here. Yeah. None of us, it is interesting this, none of us knows, and usually we don't, what might happen even the next minute of our lives. But still we go forward because we trust and because we have faith. So we have faith no matter what. Okay? It is in us. We have faith. Sometimes we just don't know that we have faith. depending on the moment. We're just going and doing it and just walking or whatever, not talking. But we have faith because we do it because we have. How about if we become more aware of the faith we have, of these beliefs that we have inside? Because this is faith in God, faith in ourselves. Once we have God in ourselves, inside, so we have faith in ourselves, right? So how about we become aware of it a little bit more? So we look for, instead of doing things automatically, instead of doing things without thinking, instead of doing things just for doing, just because we do every day, like habits that we're going to talk a little bit later as well. Like the old habits, like the we don't even know what we're doing sometimes, right? So if we have faith and we know that faith is there, how about we get to know this potential that we have? Because faith is a divine potential as well. So we have to believe in things in order to do things, in order to be here, right? In order to be part of this regeneration process of the planet, we have to do ourselves our part. So we all believe, I guess, that the planet is gonna go to a world of regeneration, from expiation and trials to world of regeneration. But how it's gonna happen? I know it's gonna happen, right? Everyone knows it's gonna happen. But how it's gonna happen? How fast it's gonna happen? How far this is from us or not? And then we start thinking about, and then we can put ourselves to think. And then we're going to find out that once we have God inside, and once we are part of this whole thing, maybe this process can be faster if I do better myself, little by little, every day. No, every day is too long. Day is too long. 24 hours is, oh my God, no. Too much time. No, let's say every minute. How about that? Every minute's better. It's closer. We can get control over a minute, right? If you feel not having control over a minute of your life, go for a second, 10 seconds. Start little so we can get used to it and get control over it, and then you can control yourself, and then you can be aware of yourself and your actions and your thoughts and everything else. Because that is exactly what's going to make a difference in this whole planet regeneration process of the planet. Because we are going to regenerate ourselves little by little. And that energy, that new energy, it is the one that's going to make the whole thing happen. So, as fast as we do this, faster the planet is going to become better, right? No more, but better. So it is kind of a consciousness thing. We need to get this, inside of us and think about it every day, right? So then we have faith, and then we know that, and becoming aware of this, I brought to you guys the Matthew says, Matthew say that for many are called, but few are chosen. I like this very much, because this is what makes a difference in this regeneration process that we're talking about. Because we always hear this Matthew saying, for many are called, but few are chosen. And sometimes we just don't know what it is about, because how come God's going to pinpoint people based on what? That he's going to say, okay, you, good, you're chosen. You, no. Okay, I'm sorry. How it's going to happen? And then we have to do what? Think and research and go inside and go to the books, lectures, and get to know yourself and get to know everything and get connected to yourself, to God, to everything, to spirits, everything, mentors, guardian angels, friends, whoever you want, to get to know things, And this is very important, because we are not going to be the few ones chosen, because we are the ones supposed to choose. That's the difference. All right? And this is, and I'm going to go back, this is there in the gospel. And the gospel says, enter through the narrow door. For the door to perdition is wide, and the path leading to it is broad. And there are many who entered through it. How small is the door to life? How narrow is the path that leads to it? And how few there are who find it. So God's not going to say this, and this is okay, this, and this is not okay. No, He's not going to say that. We are going to be the ones finding that out. Really wanting to go through the narrow door. Really, wanting to find out more about ourselves and connect to God through many things, different things individually, of course, because we're not equal. So every single one here is going to find a way to connect, a way to go, a way to get, stronger to go through the narrow door. But we have to want before. We have to really will to do it, right? So because we are the ones supposed to choose, we won't be chosen. We are the ones who's going to choose. And once we do this, once we pick this, little thing, we go, okay, I'm going to do it. I will choose. I'm going to make all the efforts and everything else because I want to be part of it. Then we start doing this. This whole thing opens up to us. Sometimes we just don't feel like it. There's just sometimes we just don't understand, because how come people can believe this whole thing out there? I don't even feel anything. I don't know what it is. But once we start, choosing, then everything comes to us. Everything opens up. It's not about religion, okay? It's not about anything specifically. It's about yourself. It's about your will to go, to find, to want, to become better, to get connected to God. It's about you. It's about each one of us only. So once we get there, then we're going to find out that we are a small part of a huge gear mesh. And then he says, oh, God, I thought I was getting closer. No, well, we're not getting closer. We're just getting a little bit of it. But that's like happiness. If we keep trying to look for happiness out there, it's far. It's far. Oh, I want to be happy, but I'm not happy until. No, we are happy like in the small things, because our happiness, like a immortal spirit, it's going to be built up through this, with the little moments of happiness that we have, that we go, getting together. That's what happens. So it is the same thing. So knowledge is like that. I want to know more. Then the whole thing is going to start opening up to you. But it's going to be step by step as well. A little bit here, a little bit there. And then, okay, you got the lesson? No, repeat it. You got the lesson? No, repeat it. Until you get it. Okay, now I got it. Okay, now we're going to go for the next step. Okay? Don't worry about whatever you don't see yet. Just go for the next step, because we have to go one by one, step by step, right? That's the way it is. So then we're going to find out that we are just a small, tiny part of this huge gear mesh. I don't know if you can see there, back there. You see that dark little thing there? Inside we have a tiny little one gear, which could be you or me. We don't even see it, okay? But we need to believe that we are part of this. And if we believe that we are part of this entire gear mesh that we're seeing it, this entire huge thing, which is the planet, let's say, which is the whole thing, the universe, if we can say, it's not going to work properly if we don't do our part. It's not going to go faster if we stay still and we don't do what we're supposed to do. But what am I supposed to do? I don't know. You have to know, not me. You got to go and find out, all right? Because I don't know. I can help you, maybe. I can try to, guide you maybe through my examples, which are not that good anyway, but we can try, right? But we now need to believe, and we now need to do our part for that. So we need to be aware of this thing, because we need to be aware that doing our part, our small part in this whole thing, that's going to make a difference in this big picture that we're looking for. So we're talking about planet, the transition of the planet, the world of regeneration, getting out of the expiation and trials and going, forward. Migration of, new spirits coming to this planet, and others who doesn't want to go with the future, with this regeneration process, are going to go away to another planet. So it's huge. It's complex. But we don't need to go there if we don't want it, because we need to understand the basis first. The small thing is inside of us. So if I do my part, then we're going to do the little things. One example is, how many cells do we have in our bodies? I just researched it. I was like sitting there. 37.4 trillion cells. You know what it is? Are you aware of your responsibility? 37.4 trillion cells that you have to take care of. It's big enough, right? Inside. So we have a bunch to do inside. Those little cells, those 37.4 trillion, almost 40 trillion cells. God, I am responsible for almost 40 trillion spiritual principles kind of thing. Because those things are going to evolve as well. Someday, they're going to be something else. And I am responsible for that. Now you're going to hate me, right? Because now I show you this. Oh, my God. But this is what it is. Are we aware of it? Are we really doing our part? Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we being good enough? Or are we on the path of good or goodness? Or we are just living through it and staying still. Habits. Remember what I said? Automatic actions and thoughts that we don't even know that we are thinking, maybe. That's why this regeneration process is so important. And we don't need to go out there. We don't need to go through the planet, through the universe. Just look inside. Just look inside. Find whatever you have to inside. Okay? And being aware of this, next step, change of habits. Because if we are aware and we don't want to be this robot anymore, this automatic thing that we are right now sometimes, we gotta start this automatism of the good. This is what it is called, automatism of the good. Because we have to be good. We can just speed up the process. Okay? That's destiny. We're gonna be good anyway. But that can take maybe, how many lives? I don't know. I don't even go there. I'm not gonna go there. But we have to start, and we can start. We can speed up this process, right? So we're going to start this changing habits. You see, every slide has little sentence up there. As to the nature of the change, it consists in the implanting of a new principle or disposition in the soul. This is change of habits. This is being aware of everything, being aware of this process, and wanting to be good. Then, what else? We have more. Oh, yeah, exactly. You see? He's agreeing, which is good, right? It's good. Don't worry. In order to do this, because sometimes we're not aware and we do the things automatically, as I said, because we carry those things through many, many lives, right? Incarnations that we're going through in this evolution process of ours. We usually, it is easy, and this is a recipe that works for me, so I brought to you guys. You need to have a cue, and this cue plus the routine make something good, make something different, and then you give yourself a reward because you did something different and good. Then you reward yourself, and then, of course, that equals new habit. You see? That's what I do for me. Okay, what am I going to do now with this situation? I'm in the middle of the verge of a fight with my wife. No. Yes. Good example. Yes. I was just thinking about if I still do it, but I still do it. Verge of a fight. Okay? I got the cue. Then, what is the routine? Okay, I'm going to open up my mouth and I'm going to fight. I'm going to argue to make myself clear and right and this and that, which is the automatic situation that I usually go through. Many lives. I don't know how many. Then, what do? Okay, no, I'm going to silence myself. I'm not going to do it because I want to change my habits. I want to do something different. I don't need to call up for many, friends that they're going to help me to argue and fight because they come to us. It's like, it's like they are synced to us when we get there. Then if I try to silence, if I can do it, good. I reward myself. New car? No, just kidding. New car is too expensive. Something little, candy, Halloween, right? Something, but I do. I do because after the reward, I'm going to feel good because I did something good. Then I'm going to get a new habit. And then I'm going to repeat this process until I get, this thing automatic in my mind. This is the way that works for me. It is really good. And then, of course, feeling good about it, it takes us to the happiness level. And that is called the happiness experience. Because if you do, and if you're good, something new, that you feel good about it, you're going to do it again. It's the happiness experience. Because if you, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not afraid to tell you, 100% sure. We do something that we are used to do, like a fight, like an argument, like with the wife or the husband, and then we do it. Next minute, we're feeling bad. We're feeling guilty. We're not good enough. We're kind of depressed. We are sad and this and that. Right? It happens. Boyfriend, girlfriends, husband, friends. It could be whoever. Even the dogs. Sometimes you just go and don't do it, and then you feel bad about it. But if you do something good, you're going to feel good about it, and then you enter into this happiness experience. So we were created by God to be happy. Remember the first slide about the natural laws? It's the only way to take us to happiness. So if we were created to God to be happy, how come we don't experience this more often? We don't do this happiness experience more often. It's a matter of will. It's a matter of, are you really feeling good in this situation, position, right now, that you are right now? Because we're here, many of us are here for the spiritual treatment. And we know that. Because of what? Because we're not feeling good. Because we're feeling some discomfort. And we have the power to make this another way. We just don't know, maybe. But we can be aware of it. We can learn how to do it. Okay? So we need to be happy. We need to love ourselves. We need to connect to God. Everything about this, because everything is about being happy and everything is about learning how to love. Everything is about happiness and love. Every single thing. And that's what it is. In every single regeneration process throughout these, evolution levels that we have for the planets or for ourselves, right? We have this regeneration. We're going to become a world of regeneration. Then we're going to become world of happiness, and then it goes like that, right? Because of this, we have to learn this, and we are going to be the ones making the difference, as we said before. We are going to be the ones making the difference in here, and this is just going to be like going from us to out there, and it's going to touch people. That awareness, that consciousness is going to touch people. When we do something good and feel good about ourselves, people are going to notice. They're going to see you and they're going to say, wow, that person is different. What's going to happen to that person? Let's find that out. Some are going to talk to you. Some are going to go for the, other ways to go through Facebook and see if they find anything there, social media. But they're going to go for it because it made a difference, right? So that's what it is about. So that means that we're going through this, we're helping people through our effort because we are going the extra mile. We're not anymore just being there and, okay, I know it's going to happen, and I know it's going to be that way, and I'll be here, and when I'm ready, I'll do it. We are ready. We were born ready for the moment, for this life. Because being ready means being ready to develop things, to progress, to look for, to get better. Being ready is not about I know everything. Being ready is not about now I can go up there and do a lecture because now I know everything. No, I don't know anything. I don't know any little thing. I just come here and I do something, study it little by little, and then I come here and talk about it. With the help of the spirits, I have to say. A lot of help. But it is, because, it's not about, okay, I'm going to prepare myself. We are prepared. We just need to go the extra mile. Just go the step. Just to start walking. Just to start doing. We can do by ourselves. And that's the effort that's going to make a difference in this regeneration process. Because the planet's going to love. Because it does love when one human being makes a difference to himself or herself. And the planet rejoices. Because it feels when we do something different. When we're going and working to the planet regeneration. This is true. And to show you this, I'm going to show you a 3-minute video. If you can turn off the light, I'm going to show you a 3-minute video that it shows this connection that I'm talking about. Okay? Quick. see how huge we are, even inside? It's the same thing. It is the same thing. We are connected. We are connected. The smallest particle, the smallest thing that we have inside, it is going to receive every single feeling out there, and vice versa. We're going to exchange. And we are all the time exchanging. We are all the time exchanging the looks, the hugs, the feelings, the thoughts. Everything can be good because we can make a difference. So what are we doing? Again, repeat the question. What are we doing to ourselves? Right? Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we taking care of this trillion cells that we have inside? The way we want to be out there for this regeneration process, this planetary transition. Because we so wanting to get this planet Earth to become a planet of regeneration and getting out of the expiations and trials. But we have to do the effort. We have to be the ones. What are my expiations and my trials, and what am I doing to change this myself? Am I regenerating myself? Are we regenerating ourselves every single day, every single second of our lives? That's the question. So simple and so complex, right? So that's why those 4 lectures that, I told you guys before, the 4 lectures that we had back on October 19th, that was the previous lectures before mine, was about trials and expiations. The other one was about vices and lower passions, the habits, why change. The other one, immortal spirit, architect of its own spirit and destiny. An emergency of the self guiding us. Steps to go through the regeneration process, to go through what we talked about tonight. So we are connected to the universe out there as much as we are connected to our inner universe, as we saw in the video. And the word of regeneration starts within each one of us, as we said, okay? These things, life, peace, respect, love, whatever, you name it, depending on your individual universe, you name it, what you want for yourself. And exactly these things are going to be what you want to the planet and what the planet's going to become with your help, with our help, right? And this thing must start now because we have to do it now. The difference, we have to do it now. Getting out of here, out there, one smile is going to make a difference. One little one, okay? Thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it.